Alright guys, welcome back to another siege battle here at the lovely port city of Cyrene. Now before I get this underway, I have to state this, okay? One, if you are playing a game and it's not necessarily going your way or you're having a tough time and you're getting frustrated, don't leave the game. Don't leave the game. It puts a bad taste in the mouth of not only the people that you're playing against, but also your allies too. And it just puts a damper on the game, especially for your allies. So don't do that. Two, always pay attention to the rules, because otherwise you end up with stuff like this, where somebody will get 2 wall artillery when you're only supposed to have 1. And 3, wait until everyone is ready before you hit start. Please wait for everyone to get ready before you hit start. That's what's happened, unfortunately, in this game. We weren't all completely set up yet. I mean, for the most part, was. I don't know if Epirus was or was not. Pergamon, I wasn't sure if they were or were not set up. But somebody, not myself, but somebody of the other 5, whether it was my team or the attacking team, hit start. Don't do that. Always be courteous to the people that you're playing with. Allow them the time that they need to set up. And then you can proceed. That being said, yeah, this was a good one. Let's get into who's playing real quick, and then we'll go over the army comps, and then we'll start. So, as defenders, we have myself as Kush, Dinudam DM as Epirus, and Azote as Pergamon. The attackers, we have Persiles, it looks like. Pericles 13 as Athens. Devin Sanders 6789 playing as Rome. And Richard Daler playing as Nabatea. I think I'm going to add something else too. Don't attack by yourself. Especially, I would say, especially on this map over here, because you only have a couple of spots where you can actually get down. And if you do attack over here, I would say bring artillery and or tortoises if you can. Nabatea didn't bring artillery with him, unfortunately. And that's all I'm going to say. Those are my 4 little tidbits. All right, so now we'll get into the army comps, and then we'll start this. So myself, I brought a general units Kushite Royal Guard. I brought 2 Royal Kushite Archers, and then actually all 4 Royal Kushite Archers. I thought I brought 2 and 2. 2 Armored Shotels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Shotel Warriors. 2 of the Kushite Slave Infantry, 1 of the Slave Infantry, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Swordsmen. Epirus has brought with him 2 units of pikemen, 1, 2, 3 units of Illyrian levies. His general is the Royal Peltas. 1, 2 Thurio spears. Another unit of Royal Peltas, mercenary Italian swordsman. Up here he has Rhodian slingers and mercenary Cretan archers. Really great position for firing down. Down here he has 2 more Cretans, 2 more Royal Peltasts, 2 more Thurio spears, and 2 hoplites. Pergamon has brought with him, I mean, we all know what Pergamon brings, right? So a unit of pikemen, 1 unit of picked peltasts, Sally sells she shall spy the sea swords. Picked peltists. 2 units of just archers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 a game of spears. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 Galatian swords. Also up here he has his general unit, which is a game of spears, and another unit of picked peltists. Getting into Athens. Athens has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units of thorax swords. I can't really tell what else he has back here. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And then one unit of veteran. I can't really tell. I know he has at least 2 or 3 Pictoplates, one of which probably being his general. Some regular archers, Citizen Cav. I think just Citizen Cav. Thorax Hoplites are his general unit, looks like. We'll wait until they spread out some more so we can see. And then over here, Rome has brought with him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units of veteran legionaries, 2 Hastati, 2 Praetorian Guard, 1 Praetorian Guard, and 1 legionary. 3 auxiliary and Syrian archers, 1 his general unit is Legatus, and then Roman Ballista, and then Nabatea all the way over here. Has brought with him 2 Nabatean noble cav, 1 armored desert cavalry, 4 of the Nabatean heavy archers, which they're pretty good. Although I'm going to say this, and this is just a bit of a personal preference. I feel like they run out of ammo faster than any other archer unit in the game. But again, that's just a personal observation. 1, 2, 3. 3. Yep, 3. Yeah, 3 Nabatean Axe Warriors. Sorry, I'm stuttering here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Rakim Palace Guard. 2 Nabatean Thorax Pikes. By the way, don't do this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 Noble Swordsmen. I hosted this match, actually. I had upped the funds a little bit so we could play around a little bit more, but I didn't make the funds like totally insane. Otherwise, I just would have brought all armored Shoto warriors. That being said, let's get into it. So, right off the bat, since I'm being completely uncontested with my artillery over here, I'm just going to start wailing away since he decided to clump up his units. Granted, it's a nice looking formation. Don't do this. Thin them out as much as you can so you're not blobbed up. And Nabatea is going to start pushing forward his units. Back over here. Got much of the same. Now, I had told Epirus, I called him out immediately before the match had even started. I said, hey, look, you have 2. Pick one that you want to use, and the other one, turn off auto fire and don't touch it. You're not allowed to use it. And true to his word, he didn't do that. So over here, his wall artillery is taking shots, and he's got beautiful, beautiful shots. He's going after Syrian archers. A good shot, good choice to go after. Looks like he got some shot on the legionaries. Might have, got some of the Praetorian Guard too. Very good, very good. Back over here, Pergamon is just saying, screw this. Let's go for Rome. Not a bad idea, since, I mean, you know, it is Rome. Look at that. Veteran legionaries just walking right into that shot. Lost 9 guys. Oof, that's rough, as Zuko would say. That's tough, buddy. So, and looks like Athens is just taking their time at the moment. Getting some more units up on the siege towers. Not a terrible idea, but still, you don't. With Pergamon facing the other way, I would say start moving your stuff up. His artillery is not facing you. You could probably move your towers and not have to worry about this. Although I'm sure he's keeping an eagle eye, so to speak. So Rome's going after this wall right here. Moving up his troops. But he's not supporting. He should be moving up the rest of his infantry. At least his Histati to back up. I mean, if it were me, I would have sent my Histati in first as Pila or Javi fodder, so to speak. Back over here, excuse me. They managed to get rid of my ballista, but not before I actually got a lot of shots in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my swordsmen up on this wall as quickly as possible to challenge them. Because, look, there's no other spot that they can come off the wall except for here. So if I can hold them up, all of these guys are just going to be on this wall, and they're going to be screwed. And it looks like that he has realized that, and he's starting to shift his cav over. In retrospect, maybe he should have, quote-unquote, read the room and started to shift all of his units over, slowly but surely. Maybe even taken the ram as slow as it would have been, and then brought it around over here to put some pressure over here. But he's going to bring over his Nabatean heavy archers, start getting shots in up on the walls here and on the other side. They're going to move up their ram slowly but surely, but I'm going to contest that as soon as I possibly can. Back over here, Epirus is starting to jockey around some of his troops, setting up essentially a nice little kill box right here. Although his Thurio spears, they aren't technically facing the wrong way. He does have these ground troops supported by his veteran legionaries who are taking the walls right now. Athens is still just slowly moving. Looks like Pergamon's still just... Is he still firing? Rome now is wasting shots on this unit over here, which personally I think is probably a waste. They're out of ammo, so no point in firing at him. So now Epirus has great shots on these veteran legionaries, and if they come down, they're screwed. They're going to be stuck here. Thurio spears. Hopefully, I would have taken auto fire off personally, or maybe he did. Well, right now they're not doing anything. So Hoplite's going to hold right here. Although I think this might be... Is this a gap right here? Yeah, that might be a little bit of a gap that if they went into column formation, they could squeeze through if they tried. Looks like they set up some barricades. Granted, I put up sharp stone beds. That's another thing, too. If you're going to put down traps, don't go nuts with it. Nobody likes that. I played a match today that was just absolute... We were assaulting... And it was just absolute trap span. It was terrible. So now over here, they're trying to batter down the gates, but I keep sallying out my cheap infantry units just to hold them up and to keep them from going anywhere and just harassing them. So now I'm just basically in an effort to keep them from getting inside, and I'm holding up these units. So these swordsmen, not the greatest, not terrible. And they're going up against the noble swords, who are pretty good. Their melee defense is pretty solid. So is their melee attack and weapon damage. Again, they're not like the greatest unit either, but they're definitely better, I would say, than the swordsmen. And the Nabatean thorax pikes that should not actually be up there. And then we have Rakim Palace Guard. And the only reason that these guys are doing fairly okay, even though it says that they're losing, is because I have 2 units of my archers backing them up. Over here, I have these guys, these other 2 units of archers trying to fire in and get shots into these pikes. But Rome being Rome, they kept on trying to run out the gate for some reason. Back over here, I have this unit of noble swords completely surrounded. I sent up a unit of... not yet. Okay, here we go. I'm sending up some units of Shotel Warriors to back up these guys. And over here, just to get that armor-piercing ability in, to try and really chop through these guys. So far, Rome, Epirus is just kind of letting Rome in, but they're not really going to go anywhere else other than here. He's got his pikes over here, his general unit right behind. Nabati has managed to squeeze in his cav, but I mean, he decided to charge at of all the factions, Pergamon, and his cav unfortunately just gets absolutely annihilated. Back over here, Pergamon has shifted one of his Agama spears over into this corner, and I wasn't really exactly sure why, but I guess it was just a way for him to, you know, if this thorax sword came in, then they would have had to make a choice of which way they're going to go, because either way they're going to get attacked in the rear. Over here, these thorax swords going to have to come in against these Galatian swords, and again, if these thorax come in against these Galatians, this Agama spear is just going to come, set up, and just start laying out volleys into him. So now we can kind of see a little bit more. He's got 2 units of pikemen, picked hoplites, thorax hoplites, picked hoplites, 3 of the mercenary Cretans, and I believe 1 regular archer. And now he's just going to start pouring forward. He's not even going to bother with the siege towers, which not a terrible idea. So, back over here. Pergamon's charged forward his noble cav, which I didn't actually notice them. Jockeying around some of his peltist. I guess he felt that he didn't need them over here. And more Agama spears. I don't know if he pulled them back or if I just didn't notice them. And a unit of pikemen. Yeah, I definitely didn't know these guys. Notice them, sorry. My bad. So, back over here, these Illyrian levies are just going to try and hold up the veteran legionaries. I would imagine that they wouldn't do great against them. They are just levies. But most of the fighting really takes place over here. And these hoplites, even though they're losing, I mean, they're still going to hold for a very long time against these Roman units. Back over here, starting to see some progress on my end. They finally managed to break down the gate, so I fell back my units. These Kushite slave infantry still have javelins. The slave infantry, they don't have javies. And then I backed them up on either side with Shotel warriors. So that when they did decide to charge in, and then my archers as well, I have them with heavy shot on, I believe. So that when these units finally charge in, they're just going to get absolutely obliterated on either side. And again, over here, I have a unit of... yeah, all 3 swordsmen. So I shifted 1 unit of swordsmen over here. I have a unit of Shotel warriors. Oh, no, I don't. I thought I did. Actually, I do. Eventually, I shift the unit of Shotel warriors up to aid these 2 units of swordsmen. But these 3 units of swordsmen just going to hang out here. And again, just, I mean, this is his entirety of his force bogged down by 3 units and the arrow tower. I've managed to push them back far enough that the arrow tower is still firing in on these guys along with my archers right here. So yeah, these guys have heavy shot. They're shooting into these guys, and as soon as they start to charge in, then they're gonna fire into them as well. Back over here, Rome is just kind of stopped. He could move more of his units up if he wanted to. I mean, he still has all of these units back here. Get these Hastati up here. Get them up here. Get them through these corridors. Let them take the brunt. I mean, even the Hastati, I think, would probably, let's see, Illyrian levies. 30, 26, 39, 45, right? Hastati. 35, 35, 48, 60. So 35 and 35... 30 and 20. Yeah, the Stadi could totally take on these Illyrian levies and, you know, be all right. Instead, he's going to charge his Roman ballista up instead, and not do much of anything else. I mean, I maybe he was worried about Pergamon shifting troops over, but Pergamon has things to worry about himself, right? I mean, like, yeah, maybe he could move some of his game of spears over, but then he's taking away units from here. Athens is no joke. Thorax swords, they're not the greatest unit in the game, but they're good like all-arounders, especially if they're supported well. Back over here, these game of spears. Winning against these thorax hoplites. He decided to come against them, but look at this. They're getting shot in the back by these archers. It's a nice move. But now these citizen cavalry is in, but they got caught by these Pergamon noble cav, which I don't know. It says that they're losing. Yeah, they're probably going to end up losing this. More and more of the thorax swordsmen are coming in. These game spears are pretty good. They're like Thurio spears on crack, basically. Over here, these thorax are beating up on these Galatian swords. I don't know why he didn't charge in. Ooh, that's funny. Oh, there we go. Should have been doing that from the beginning. It would have been able to save this Galatian sword unit. Back over here, Rome is still just kind of standing still. Personally, I think that the Roman player was a little new, so you got to give them kind of a pass if they don't know exactly what they're doing. But looks like he's starting to shift over some troops to try and help out his Athenian player. It's not a bad idea. Back over here. They charged in. I managed to just... it was, you know, Rakim, 2 units of Rakim Palace Guard, 1 including his general unit, and then the pikes, and then I just completely annihilate them. So now what I'm going to do is just shift these units that haven't been used, and I'm going to move them. I'm going to move them over here, because now that this, I know that this is completely, this is going to be shored up. And again, I jockey back these Shoto warriors back and forth a little bit, because I'm not totally sure, but eventually they move over. Charge my general out to get this last archer unit. Up over here, I have the Kushite slave infantry and the 2 swordsmen. Swordsmen and Shoto warriors taking care of these Nabatean axe warriors and noble swords. And again, now I charged up all of these guys to even put more of a stopgap measures to try and keep them from... and look at that, looks like he's trying to push through. To try and keep them from getting down. Because at this point, it looks like he's just trying to do whatever he can to try and get off this wall. But again, I mean, this is, you know, a little bit of a learning experience, I guess. Nabatean archers, heavy archers up on the wall. They're going to be taking shots down on my Kushite royal archers. I think they do, but at this point, they're just taking fire. They're not even doing anything, really. So over here, this is... I'm going to stop focusing on this part of the battle, because this does end up getting shored up. It takes a while, but I managed to defeat Nabatea to the point where, unfortunately, he does leave the game in frustration. And like I said, don't leave the game. Even if you can't... You know, this is a tough situation for him where it just... He made a blunder, unfortunately, and it worked out in my favor. But don't leave. You know, you could always be a pair of eyes for your allies after you've been defeated. And you can, you know, like I said, be a pair of eyes for your allies and keep an eye on what's going on in the battlefield and really keep track of your allies' units and try and help them in that way. So, Pergamese Noble Cav, looks like he had 2 units, I guess. Coming in, ooh, big rear charge in the back of these veteran legionaries. Numbers just dropping. Look, you got 41 kills right off the bat. Game of Spears. Oof, they just got javied, though, by these thorax swords. And then back over here, these Game of Spears, they kind of end up sitting here, sort of, for the rest of the game, like, uncontested, which is strange. I think he left these thorax units just in case. But, yeah, he chills out there for the rest of the game. He moves them out of the range of fire, the arrow tower. Arrow tower. Remember, that's like the most difficult word for me to say. So still, Roman player is just like piecemeal moving up troops. All right, still has 2 units of veteran legionaries. Still has 1 of his Praetorian guards, another legionary unit. You know, all 4 of these. I mean, it's Rome. It's Rome. These units are no joke. Move them up. Move them up to support, because you're not going to win this way, unfortunately. Just throwing in guys one at a time. Because all you're doing is wearing down one unit and then giving them the chance to rest. You know, this unit of veteran legionaries is just standing there waiting for this hoplite unit to come and engage. It's not good. These Hastati just sitting there doing nothing. Get these Hastati behind these veteran legionaries. Why are you pulling back? Or if you're going to pull back, that's fine. Set up a kill box. You got to do something to help yourself. So now I have these 2 armored Shotel warriors, 2 regular Shotel warriors over here. Pergamese Noble Cav just running around. Game of Spears. Athens is making the most headway at the moment. But even though Pergamon is definitely beat up, they put up one hell of a fight over here. Look how many troops Epirus have that are still fresh. That are still... They have so many units that are full strength because Rome didn't put enough pressure. You know, maybe this guy didn't have the Greek city-states DLC, so he couldn't bring any tortoises. Ask Athens. Say, hey, look, can you bring tortoises? If you can you bring all tortoises, and I'll lend you some some siege towers if you give me some siege tortoises. And this would have been so much better if they had knocked down more of this wall for them to get in here. Yeah, I understand. This is a difficult map to attack. It's not as bad as some. But still, I mean, there are a lot of choke points. It's good street fighting. But like this is your best point to attack right here. And he probably should have deployed over here some more, you know. But still, his units are just now finally starting to move. I know at some point, again, the Roman player also left. Don't leave. He left when he still had, like, quite a few units left. All right. He was in a better position than Nabatea, right? Nabatea was in admittedly a hopeless position. But still, stick around. Stick around and try and help in any way that you possibly can. So, back over here, this Thorax unit and this veteran legionaries, they were charging down. This Thorax swordsman unit was actually going up this way. And then I was going to try and charge into the back, but he turned around, charged my Shotel warriors, and I said, yeah, that's a fight I'll take. Gladly. So now I'm going to charge forward my armored Shotel warriors to take on this veteran legionary unit. And then I believe I move these 2 Shotels. Or maybe I move... It depends. Yeah. These guys go after them. And it looks like these Shotel will come over here to deal with these guys. So if these Thorax swordsmen decide to move up to take on these Game of Spears, they're going to get side charged. Back over here, they're done. So once they're finished, all these units that are admittedly beat up, I'm going to move them over here. General is back in, moving these archer units over here to assist Epirus with taking on the Romans. So now I have my Shotels up against these veteran legionaries, armored Shotels against. I mean, obviously, the armored Shotels are going to win this, but they're going to get backed up by some more veteran legionaries. So that could end up potentially being a problem. So now Athens, all of his archers still have full ammo. Okay, here we go. Yeah, regular archers and then 3 of the Cretans. So Pergamon's Pickpaltus are just going to get absolutely shot up, and he still has his artillery too. So Athens played it smart. Dismantled Pergamon for the most part, to the point where he only had a few units left and still has a massive amount of ammo left, his artillery left, and could potentially become a giant thorn in our side. Rome, for the most part, is completely contained. Again, he's just, at this point, I don't think he is left. He's just left these units. Move them in. Move them in. You have to move in. You have to keep putting pressure on your chosen defender that has chosen to stack up against you. And it looks like he's just sending them in piecemeal, one at a time. Get all four of these units in here, and then decide where you want to move them. You know, send one unit down this way to assist with these guys, because these 4 units here can cause a lot of problems. So, Shoto Warriors have gotten into combat with the Thorax Swordsman, but they're quickly going to be backed up by these pikes, who don't have their pikes down, but they will in a second. Charging forward some more of my Shoto Warriors, but there go the pikes. So that naturally is going to be a giant problem. My armored Shotels here were starting to get really beat up, so I decided to charge them back in hopes that this would happen, that they would continually, the attack order would be stuck on them. And now look, my other armored Shotels are just going to get right into the back of these veteran legionaries, and now they're getting crushed on either side. Going to sneak these archers through. I'm pretty sure with 229 kills that they have no more ammo. I have more Shotel Warriors coming up. I'm pretty sure that they have Javs left. And then Pergamon's backing me up with a Spikeman. Excuse me. Sorry. So now here, just trying to do, not damage, but throw in units to try and do what I can against these pikes and Thorax Swordsmen. Pretty sure that these guys, yep, they still have Javs, so they're going to throw them into the mix. Hopefully getting some shots in on the pikes. It's unfortunate because he's stacking the Thorax Swords on top of the pikes, so the Thorax Swordsmen are going to protect the pikemen somewhat. Back over here, this unit of swordsmen is breaking. I think it just continues to break the rest of the game, or wavering rather, and it just never actually breaks. And then I have 2 Shoto Warriors to deal with the 2 Rakim Palace Guards, because admittedly the Rakim Palace Guards are extremely tough units. Out over here, Rome left his general unattended. At this point, he had left, because once he left, the Roman general decided to start moving. So now you can see the computer, the AI, is going to start moving his units in over here, and he's going to start to assist his Athenian ally. Fortunately, the Legatus general doesn't get away. And what I did here was, with my general, I snuck up here, came out this gate, and wormed my way all the way down to get to him. So now, over here, pretty much, Rome has been squashed. There's nothing left. These archers still have some ammo left. Not a lot, but I'm almost positive that let's say their bows are still out. And, you know, they did pretty good. 130 and 171 kills. Back over here, I'm just going to start moving up my armored Shotel Warriors, Shotels, and other armoreds to put pressure on this side of Athens. And at this point, the end game, we start to box Athens in. So now, Pergamon using fire shot to get rid of these artillery unit, which is very smart, because if he didn't get rid of this guy soon, this would have become such a gigantic problem in the long run. I mean, the amount of kills that he would have been able to get manually firing and just shotgunning into our troops would have been absolutely disgusting. So as he's still firing at the artillery crew, even though they're off, they're still going to manage to hit these units here. So it ends up becoming quite useful. So the pikes, now it's just like a standoff. I'm sending up units that still have Javs, or had Javs. Wisely, Athens is going after the picked peltasts instead of my units over here. But his unit of archers that are firing down in on the Thorax Swords and the pikemen. Pergamon's bringing up his pikemen to contest Athens' pikemen. Athenii pikes. Back over here, I have my 2 armored Shotel Warriors and Shotels going against their picked hoplites. But, boom, pikemen coming in to save the day. About to drop their pikes. Give it a second. Who was that? Okay, so yeah. So I saw that, I'm pretty sure, and then I started to focus fire in on the pikemen. They haven't dropped their pikes yet, but in the long run, this is a fight that my 3 units would have won. But look at that. Oh, very smart. Cheeky of him to engage my units heavily with his hoplites and then pull them out while his pikemen were mixed in. So that's some big brain strategy right there. And now the computer is mixed in as Praetorians, and I'm just going to pull back because this is a fight that isn't going to go my way. And of course, computer being the computer is going to follow, and I'll be able to dismantle his Praetorian Guard pretty quickly while getting shots in on his pikes. So again, Epirus still has a fair amount of units. So does Pergamon. Pergamon still has a game of spears. They only have 1 kill, so they definitely still have ammo. Archers up here. I mean, Epirus admittedly probably could have came and helped us out a little bit more as far as in the ranged category. At this point, you know, he has nothing else to lose. He did bring his 2 mercenary Cretan, or 1 mercenary Cretan archer and Rhodian Schlinger. Rhodian Schlinger. To take care of the pikes. Now, yeah, they're just going to get shot in the back. They start pulling back. I charged in my general over here to get a rear charge in on the veteran legionaries, but picked hoplite started to move in. Whether he was going to try and catch my general, I wasn't sure, or just hold here, but I wasn't going to stick around to find out. So then I just leave my general out here to hang out. Epirus is starting to move forward some more of his Illyrian levies. Looks like these guys still firing. These guys have finally gone and ran out of all that ammo. 152 kills. These guys had 211. Whew. Still firing in on the pikes. Over here, starting to collapse in on himself. We have a minute 40 left. Thorax hoplites. Fighting for their dear life. And over here, you know, this is a big, like, kind of courtyard place. So over here, I started to shift units around to try and just sneak around and by. But Athens is really trying to do whatever he could to prevent that from happening. These pikes, though, are so out of formation that they're just going to end up getting obliterated. So over here, kind of a big hodgepodge, but these Praetorians, Legionary, and Veteran Legionaries are just getting shredded by my Armored Shotel Warriors and Shotel Warriors. Back in the back, Rakim Palace Guard finally been shown off the battlefield, and my Shotels, who are still in really good health, are on their way. I think they still have jabs, too. So now, a game of spears, still just chilling, hanging out, having a good time, vibing. He's going to charge his Noble Cav into the picked hoplites, actually breaking them. I think it's because, yeah, his general is gone, and that's going to be the end of that. 21 seconds left. And Athens has been completely routed off the field of battle. All right. So let's get in to the kills. So we'll start with myself with 2,844 kills. My general got 158. My Kushite, Royal Kushite archers, 230, 232, 227, 159. My 2 armored Shotel warriors, 167, 152. My Kushite slave infantry, 108, really good, 47. Shotel warriors, 107, 157, 132, 121, and 147. Slave infantry did pretty well, actually, I would say, for slave infantry, 52. And my swordsmen actually, across the board, did pretty well. 141, 85, 106, 118, and 135. Again, though, I have to attribute that to Richard Daler's unfortunate choice to deploy where he did. So, Richard, if for some reason, somehow, some way, you're watching this, always make sure to try and deploy with your allies, unless, of course, you have a solid plan in mind. Getting into Epirus, Dinu Dam, 1,423 kills. General didn't do anything. Just sat back, ate some chips, some grapes, drank some wine. Cretans, 68, 115, 134. 2 kills for his Viridian Slingers. Mercenary Italian Swordsman got 83 kills. Lyrian Levies, 137, not bad. 51, 55. Ooh, I'm sorry. His Hoplites, 81, 53. Thurio Spears, 44, 75, 102, 62. Royal Peltasts, 151, 127, 83. And his Pikes didn't have to lift a finger. Azote got 1,787 kills. His General got 23. His Pergamese Noble Cav, 63 and 216. Archers, 190 and 138. 38 rather. His Picked Peltists, 142 and 58. Galatian Swords, 135, 71, 86. And then the Game of Spears, 63, 94, 90, and 196. And then his Pikemen did really well, got 238 kills. Getting into the attackers, Rome got 1,019 kills. His General only got 1 kill. Rome Ballista got 4. His Syrians, 168, 65, and 0. That's really unfortunate. Hastati didn't do well at all, 40 and 38. Legionaries got 21, unfortunate. Praetorian Guard only 46, unfortunate. Veteran Legionaries got 102, 106, 99, and 168. Richard Daler, his General Rakim Guard, got 72 kills. All of his Cav didn't do well at all. His one Nabatean Noble Cav got 17 kills. Heavy Archers, 18, 12, 16, 42. Other Rakim Palace Guard, 20, 39, 28. Personally, I think spears don't do great up on the walls. And they're spears. They're just, the Rakim Palace Guard are kind of like hoplites. They're just supposed to hold. Nabatean Axe Warriors, 105, 48, 14. Thorax Pikes, 12 and 15. Again, definitely not the place of Thorax Pikes to be assaulting the walls. And his Noble Swordsman, 160, 51, 53, and 41. And then Persilis, 13, I guess that is, right? Persilis 13 got 1,883 kills. Did the best out of his allies. His Thorax Hoplites got got 81 kills. His Ballista got 63. Citizens Cav only 40. Regular Archers did pretty good, 171 kills. Mercenary Cretans, 148, 95, 94. Thorax Swordsman got 90, 40, 145, 137, 136, 108, 83. Mercenary Veteran Hoplites did really well, 159. His Picked Hoplites, unfortunately, didn't do terrific, but they managed to survive the battle, it looks like, and ran away, run away and live to fight another day. And then his Pikemen, 153 and 45. And that's it. So again, guys, if the fight's not going your way, don't leave. I myself am guilty of leaving because of getting frustrated or wanting to leave because it seems hopeless. Don't leave. Stick around. Because you might be able to see something that your allies don't notice after your army is unfortunately dispatched off the field of battle, And like I said, it disheartens your allies and even the people that you're fighting against. It definitely upsets them. And I wouldn't say that they would think poorly of you, but it's just kind of like, oh man, like, why do you have to leave, And ultimately, I know that the total war community can sometimes be a little toxic, and that's unfortunate, but I'd like to think that at least sometimes, or most of the time, that we are kind of like a big family, and we get sad when someone just quits the fight when it's not going their way. So don't be that person. Always stick through, stick to it, and if you end up losing your army, stick around, like I said, and try and help your allies. So if you like this, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Discord will be in the link below. Please join. I got Discord channels for anime, Sea of Thieves, Diablo 1 and 2, Among Us, Rome 2, obviously. And more importantly, if you have replays and you want to see them up on the silver screen that is YouTube, please, please, please join my Discord, leave them in the Discord, and I will get to them. With that being said, this is Lichter. Have a fantastic day, night, afternoon, weekend, weekday, whatever it is you're experiencing right now. I hope it's the best version of whatever it is. Peace out.